Have you ever gotten one of those 1,000-piece puzzles and you just think you're going to be a champ and put it all together all at one time, and it never really works out that way? Well, today we are talking about the pieces that we as women have put together over the years to create this new multimedia platform, Unbroken. Hi, I'm Janeé, your host, your fearless leader, and your champion for women. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Unbroken. Unbroken is a brave, supportive community for women who want to take action and create change. It's really about how we as women, and really as humans, have the opportunity every day to make a difference in someone else's life. So please help me welcome my longtime friend, mentor, colleague, Debbie Rossa. Debbie, welcome.
Well, thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. Well, I think about moving and how it is a pain. And sometimes people want to say, oh, I'll help you. And in reality, this would be me helping you. I would be like, good job. Well, then you have those friends that come in and roll up their sleeves and say, I really want to help you. And that for sure is Debbie. And so Debbie, share with me a little bit about why you help women.
Well, it started, I think, a long time ago. We are created with a certain bent. And I think that I've always been the type of person that wanted to help, whatever I can do. I have a passion for women, just like you do, and hence why we're here. But I've always had a little something inside of me saying, I want to help whoever I can. Just in the kindness factor, in knowing that, one small act of kindness, as you've said before, can just completely change someone's day. So, yeah, it kind of started with us when we met and immediately became fast, close friends. And you were in need, and I kind of gathered the troops, and as it were, we helped you move
again, and then we've helped other women move. Subsequently, how many times?
Yes.
What Debbie's alluding to, I went through an abusive marriage, and Debbie and her sister moved me out. At that time, we didn't even know each other very well, but helped move me out one night. And then the next morning, I go to work. Debbie shows up with 6 women. I don't know any of them. And I left with an empty townhouse. And I came back to a home with furniture and accessories. And I mean, these women who didn't know me were hands-on help. And that was the day I said, you know what? I am going to be that woman that does the hands-on help. And
well, thank you. I'm honored. I just think that it's something that if we can all do a little bit for our fellow man, woman, especially women, and just help each other, instead of being competitive, instead of, thinking about what we don't have, it's kind of just locking arms and walking together. There's enough for all of us, and let's help each other and lift each other up, inspire one another, and encourage one another. So,
wow, and that's part of what I think got me to where I am today. Is over years, I have all these cards from you that were just encouraging me to go on and to keep. And so I want to encourage all of us. What's a small thing we can do to maybe encourage, inspire another woman? Because we believe that when we get mentorship, help from another woman, it's our responsibility to give it back. So stay with us. We'll be right back with Unbroken. Welcome back to Unbroken. Today we're talking about how we women can pour into one another's lives and leave a forever lasting difference. Please help me welcome Monica Blevins, and then we've got Lisa Mikals joining us virtually. Round of applause for them. It has been an almost 15-year journey as we are creating this brave, supportive space for women. Through Debbie, we talked about how this community is about being hands-on, getting a little messy, walking each other through the hard stuff, being consistent in our community. And from Lisa and both Monica, I have seen you gals rather, speak truth in love. Lisa, we're going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about you and your involvement with me and Unbroken over the years.
I talk about life being a journey. And, you're on this road and it has exits. So maybe I was only a couple exits ahead of you, but we had been down the same road for quite a long time.
Thank you, Lisa. And one of the things I love about what Lisa said is it's a journey. And with this community that we're creating, we know that we never really arrive. There's always something for us to learn and grow. And so having women that are a couple of exits ahead of us, I think that's a great way to say it, especially because we're taking this show on the road. Is just awesome. And Monica, you and I met over a connection of sharing the loss of a child. And we didn't know that about each other. So tell us a little bit about that and how that connection piece played out.
You came to my house several years ago, and like Lisa and everybody else, I was trying to think of how many years we've known each other. And it's been anywhere from 13 to 15, somewhere in that area. But God brought us together with the loss of our children. And you had come in to do an interview, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a quick, short thing. And just like many things in my life, I think, okay, this is going to be quick. And then, life goes on, what have you. And we've remained good friends because of our mutual loss, one, and our mutual love for the Lord and our mutual love for women in general. And I think it's that brokenness of losing a child that you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You've never experienced this before, but there's so many other people that come in there if you allow them to come in to help you. And I think in my brokenness that God brought me through other things in order to get healed. And when you get healed from something, you now have the capability for somebody else to come beside you and go, you know what? I've been there. I've not walked in your footsteps exactly, but I've been there and I can help you up. And I think that that's what this journey, it's an adventure. It's you walk it out. You pay it forward, like Debbie said, is that you pay it forward to the next person and you love somebody else just as much as you've been loved or even more so.
And for those of you out there who may have experienced loss or you're at a really rough season, perhaps you've made some big mistakes. That was the season I was coming off of when I first met Lisa. It's okay. And there is a woman, someone else out there who's been through that, and you are not alone. And so what would it look like to have a community where you can go, just be you? You don't have to be perfect. You can be in the midst of stuff, and we are going to love you where you are. And like these ladies have done with me, we're going to love you enough to not let you stay there. And so if that is you, check out theunbroken.org. We'd love to be here for you. This journey that we've all been on has not always been pretty. And there have been some times we've had to speak some hard truths. I should say I've had to hear some hard truths, mainly from Lisa as she is laughing. Lisa, why do you speak truth in love? You have done it in love.
Oh my gosh. Well, exactly what you said. There's a passion. You really need to love someone enough to be honest. And, like Monica was saying, you having a heart for Christ kind of leads you in that direction. And when you have your own story, it's easy not to walk in judgment. So never is it coming from that place. But certainly we've all had experiences and we haven't gone through what we've gone through for ourselves. It really is to help someone else. And that's what I love about just even knowing you for all these years. I look at all the connections that have been made. All it takes is one person, and you don't know where that connection will lead. And so when I look at all of the amazing squad members we have and the connections I've been able to have with them as a result of you, that's huge. I just care enough. And that was always my thing. When I was at the most broken time in my life, I remember having this realization one morning. No one loved me enough to say anything. I mean, tons of people around me, people that I would have said, are my friends and my sisters. And at that time in my life, I was evaluating, well, was I showing up in a way where they could come to me? But even outside of that, I have to love you enough to even risk losing a relationship. And so that is something that it happened once, has been my experience. You put yourself out there like that because you care enough. You don't want to see this person stay in a place of brokenness. You see how the enemy's working them over. You've been there. You've seen the movie yourself, maybe started it like me, a couple. But you care enough to be able to say something. But I know and trust, just like in our relationship, it just makes us stronger and stronger because we stand in the gap for each other. We are there for each other. We still are doing those things. And the journey just continues. I love it. It's lifting up one another up, encouraging one another, and just reminding each other we are overcomers.
Love it. Such good stuff. Are we perfect women? Absolutely not. Are we trying to do the next right thing? I believe so. And you notice we're using that word squad, and that's because it's a small circle of people focused on a common goal. And that is to help each other be our best. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Unbroken. You may be thinking, wow, how do I get a squad that will walk me through hard stuff, speak truth in love me where I am, and spur me on to be better? One of the key components is being brave and being vulnerable. And two women who got to experience this with me early on, Kereth and Thressa, welcome. We're glad you're here. And Thressa didn't know she was going to be on today. I just pulled her out of the audience, and so she got to pick up a microphone. But you all jumped in with me during Revelations of Authentic Women, where successful women took off the mask of perfection to open the door to freedom and healing. So tell us about that process. And Thressa was a participant, and then Kereth was behind the scenes.
I had found you I was in a program that was for hurts, habits, and hang-ups, trying to do my own kind of healing. And I remember I had just gone through it, and you had done a casting call. And I found it, I read it, and I called you because it seemed like it had the same vision of what I had just gone through. And I so believed in it. And so I just tried to stay behind the scenes, but how you work, all kinds of things happen. So
some things never change in 15 years.
So I did even my own growing, thinking that I was going to be behind the scenes, and it was just crazy.
Crazy awesome.
Crazy awesome.
Yeah. Thressa, tell us what it was like for you as a participant in that process.
It was the most precious time of my life, but also to be able to be here today and reconnect and really still going through the season of life of all of these years and chapters of being able to grow and evolve and overcome where we've been. So it's amazing.
Thressa, you mentioned, so you found your biological father during that process. I mean, we went through really big things together. What was that like to have that community of support for you?
I mean, so many emotions come through today still, even though I've overcome all of the hurt and the setbacks that I felt like I had and the rejection that I constantly lived with. But to have a community of people and women that were willing to walk through it with you and be there to guide and to give wisdom. You gave so much of that through that journey and that process. And now I'm able to actually do the same for other people. And I was able to go on and co-author and share my story. And I was just hoping that it would help one person. And so many people came out of that. So I believe it was the community of women that I had in my life that was able to propel me to that next level.
One of the things we mentioned is that this work here is bigger. And we want to be where the people are, as they would say in The Little Mermaid. And the people are out, not in the studio. And so that is why we have the vehicle and the squad. Right now we're calling it the Pod Squad. We are open. We need to name that vehicle. But we are taking this show on the road. You may have already seen us, but we are activating women across the globe. We are showing up when there are tragedies in our world and serving hands-on. Everything that you heard us talk about up here is what we do on that pink vehicle. It's not just a cute little thing. And so we just want to encourage you to join a squad. And you may be thinking, well, they have talked about Jesus a lot. I don't know that I'm in that bucket. or they are successful entrepreneurs. I don't fit there. If you want a supportive community, you fit a squad. And we would love to have you check out theunbroken.org. Oftentimes in life, you meet people in the most random ways. Thus is the case with my friend Jackie from LA. Jackie, welcome. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Jackie, will you tell the story of how we met?
Oh my goodness. I drove limousines part-time for about 17 years, and I was sudden to go pick Janeé up from the airport. And she went on to tell me that her laptop was stolen. So I was like, wow, it's not good. So I knew there was a police department, LA police department. So I took her over there to make sure that she made a report, and hopefully somebody would have turned it in, but of course they didn't. And we have been in contact ever since. This is like the weirdest relationship because we haven't gotten to actually see each other since then, but we talk all the time. And I know it's just, she's one of those sisters from another mister for me, where it's cool people. I don't know what else to say. I'm shy, excuse me, please. Anyway, with the all that said, it's wonderful to be here, I have to say. And excuse my shyness.
Jackie, so sometimes you just meet these people and they play a special role in your life. And Jackie was actually one of the first people I met when I came back to media. I say come back to media because, as you've maybe heard me say, I didn't feel good enough for media for a long time. So I took a traditional career in corporate America. And then I was going to go out to Los Angeles and be on one of Mark Wahlberg's show, Moment of Truth. And I was going to spread lightness in dark projects. And that's when my laptop was stolen. I met Jackie. The show was canceled before my episode ever aired. And yet, out of all of that craziness, I got to meet someone like Jackie, who just forever put a little place in my heart. And Jackie, I feel like you have come alongside me and encouraged me. And my hope is that I've been able to do the same for you over the years.
Oh, definitely. You've always been there for me. Whenever I was down and out, you've always encouraged me, uplifted me, and I was able to move on. It was very inspiring. And I really appreciate everything that you said to me, your prayers, and just being a wonderful, wonderful sister in Christ. And I don't know, it's just amazing that we're still in touch with each other for over 14, 15 years? I'm not sure. It's been a long time. But you're an amazing woman. I'm sure you're a magnificent wife and mom. And because when I met you, you hadn't even had kids or anything. I mean, wow, just to meet someone like you is for that. I really appreciate all your kind and courteous words. Without you, I probably wouldn't be this far. I've gone through a lot. Everybody has, but I appreciate your encouragement to get me to where I needed to be. Like, without it, I don't know where I'd be today.
Well, Jackie, it's people like you that go out of your way, maybe even outside the job description when you took me to the police station, that really make a difference. And more than that, just your kindness, your smile. And so I just want to say thank you for being you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on today.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And hey, you're going to make it big because you're a good person.
Thanks. Love you, friend. Stay with us. We're not done. The giving section is next. Welcome back to Unbroken. This is one of our favorite segments. It's when we give. Who doesn't like to receive? But there's a deal. You've heard each of us talk about how we have given to this community and how we've received from the community. I am asking you to come alongside us and to give with us. This is a little bit different, I know. Today we're not giving. We are asking you to give, and here's why. I am looking at my niece, who's 11, right behind the camera, and she's a super special gal. And I'm thinking about our kids, and I'm thinking about their kids, and I'm thinking about the high suicide rates in our youth. And what would it look like when this community goes for generations to come? When women, girls of all ages are able to go to a safe place, the unbroken community, to be mentored by other women and girls who have been there, done that. When there are women in need, we can come alongside and activate with our pink pod squad. The legacy we live is the legacy we leave. And so will you join me? Will you join us by going to theunbroken.org and make a contribution and join a squad? We need you on board with us. There's a lot of work to do, and the workers are few. So join us and the awesome squad of women cheering you on, waiting for you at Unbroken.